Hi, this is Rabbi Chaim Coffman. Welcome to our 138th installment of the Torah portion of the week. We are holding by Parshas Maasei here in Eretz Israel, and everyone else outside of Israel is holding by Parshas Maasei. It's a double parsha, so everyone in the world is going to be same place at the end of Shabbos, be at the end of the book of Numbers, and we'll continue next week in the book of Deuteronomy, right? Everyone will be on the same page for a change. The Parsha of Parshas Maasei speaks about the summary of the journeys of the Jewish people, speaks about occupying the land, speaks about the boundaries, speaks about the leadership, right? A lot of different things. Cities for the Levites, cities of refuge, interesting. For unintentional marriage, a lot of interesting things. So I guess what I want to focus on is the journeys of the Torah, of where the Jewish people, not the Torah, but the journeys of where the children of Israel go. So at the beginning of chapter 33, the Torah tells us, these are the journeys of the children of Israel, went forth on the land of Egypt, according to the legions, under the Moshe and Aaron, and Moshe wrote their goings forth according to the journeys of the bidding of Hashem, and these were the journeys, right? The journey from Ramses, the first month, the 15th day of the first month, the day of the Paschal offering. Children of Israel went forth with upraised hand for the eyes of all Egypt, etc. And they went from place to place. They went this place, that place, this place, that place, this place, that place. Right? So the Torah doesn't mince any words. Right? The Torah usually tell you something and move on. There's always a purpose to what we're being told, but what about a recapitulation? So you tell me it's emphasis. When the Torah comes back and tells me something that I already know, seemingly I already know, so you can tell me, well, it's for emphasis. And if it's for emphasis, good, but why is it there? Why does it have to repeat it? So normally things are repeated because we learn different things. Right? We may learn out some novelty about a certain law, whatever. So that's why different mitzvahs can be repeated. We see at the end of the book of Exodus the importance of the vessels of the Beis Hamikdash, right? Of the tabernacle. The Mishkan, and the recapitulation of all the loops and the clasps and the wood and all that, and there is a purpose, right? There is a purpose over there why it's repeated. Well, one thing for sure, it's important. The Torah's never going to repeat anything if it's not important. So what about the journeys? Why do you have to tell me where the Jewish people went? They went here, they went there, they went, other places. Is it historical? The Torah telling me, historical analysis, okay, this shows where the Jewish people were, so now gotta go back in history and see, okay, where were the boundaries? Where is it today? What does it represent today? Etc. That you could tell me, right? That you could tell me is kind of crucial. That would, set the boundaries. It would set the boundaries, so to speak, of where the land is today and where they were. I don't think that's, I don't think that's a small thing. But the Torah's not a history book. Right? In general, it's not a history book. It's not just about who married who and who the kids were, etc. Because if you look at the book of Genesis, so the Torah goes through many, many generations and then singles out great individuals. Right? It talks about Adam, it talks about Noah. Right after Noah, you got Abraham. Whole story with Abraham, and then Yitzchak, Yaakov, the Jewish people, etc. But okay, you gotta understand where the Jewish people came from, where their pedigree stems from. I understand that's important. And Ma'aseh Avos Siman Labanim, the actions of our forefathers are a sign to what's going to happen to the Jewish people in the future. Meaning that if our forefathers struggled and went through difficult things, it gives us the ability to overcome them because they gave us the ability because they already struggled through it, so they help us. They help us go through whatever it is. So what about the travels? If you tell me it's historical, And the Torah wants to show me where they travel. Well, one good thing, I shouldn't say it's so good, but, because of the sin of the golden calf, that generation has to die out. And they have to have a whole other generation. Then they're going to go into the land of Egypt. But they go around pretty much in circles, in many ways, from place to place, to show that, it could show that they're not getting into the promised land. So therefore they have to travel all around in order to get there. That could be one possible thing. According to Kabbalah, we're not going to talk too much about Kabbalah, but it could be that there are spiritual things, I don't even know what to call it, sparks that are in these places that the Jews had to go to in order to remove the sparks. That's a little bit esoteric, right? That could be a purpose, because they have to go there and take out the spiritual impurity and make it pure by going there, right? Wherever the Jews are, they make the place much stronger. And any time there's persecution, the Jews go out, or they're thrown out, the country gets wiped out pretty much. So it's always a curse to throw out the Jewish people, even if they deserve it. The country goes down, the country gets decimated. But be that as it may, that's not really. So I'm asking and answering a lot of questions that don't necessarily have what to do with what I want to talk about. So what is the purpose? What is the purpose of the travels? So the travels of the Jewish people are like the travels of a person. You're going to say, wow, that's pretty novel. What does that mean? It means they go from place to place because God is dragging them around. And God is, telling them, okay, stop and camp. Okay, get up, let's go. Stop and camp, get up, let's go. Right? It's the whole process. So we, in our regular lives, we also have journeys. We also go from place to place. Some people may say, well, I've stayed in, more or less the same place, for the last 50 years, 60 years. I haven't gone too far. Yes, you might have traveled, seeing different parts of the world. That may be true. But even a person stayed close to home. Staying close to home doesn't mean you didn't have any experiences. Doesn't mean, okay, I traveled to work, back and forth, traveled to this place, traveled to that place, traveled to my kid's place. Went here, went there. But what do the travels entail? You tell me, well, had to pay gas, had to get there, took time, hit traffic, bad weather, whatever the case is. But the point of a travel, of wherever a person goes, is going to take something out of them. They're going to experience something, and that experience is going to make them who they are. So a person will say, okay, I had to pick up something at the mall. Drive 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away, whatever it is. Hit traffic, someone cuts you off, this, that, different things happen. But you get to the mall in the end. Get to the mall, okay, I'm going to this store. Store's open, get there, they don't have your size. Maybe they do have your size, maybe you do get what you want, maybe you don't. But you have a whole experience. Right? It's not just like, oh, okay, I drove there, nothing happened, went in, went out, came home, and that was it. Nothing significant. Well, did you speak to anyone on the phone? Did you come in contact with other people? Might have been positive contact, negative contact. Did you see things you didn't like to see? I mean, there are a whole slew of questions on that small journey. I'm just talking about going to the mall. Going to a convenience store, getting something to eat, whatever the case is. But that experience, is part of the experience of being human. Something good could come out of it, bad could come out of it, something neutral. But anywhere you go, it's going to have an impact on your life. Now, we may not see the impact now. We may not see the impact tomorrow or the next day. Maybe it's inclement weather. Let's say it's snowing out or whatever, you still go out. Or, it's a pouring, it's a downpour, and you still go out. Put you in a different frame of mind, because then you're going to be a lot more careful when you drive, etc. The experience is totally different. So even if it's nice weather, you might have got bad news on the phone. Maybe someone called you to tell you bad news. Or maybe something good. Right? The mood swing can go up and down, even within a 5-minute drive. Maybe somebody cut you off. There are myriad number of experiences a person can go through, and a lot has to do with, okay, I had to go through this and that. Question is, why? Was the purpose only to see how I'm going to react? You go into a store, you didn't find your size, traveled all that time, maybe you go to another store, you get aggravated. You didn't find what you want, and you leave empty-handed. Spend time, spend energy, spend gas, etc., but you didn't get what you want. That's also a test. Could be just the opposite. Got there quick, found exactly what you want, got in and out, still took time. But that there are a myriad number of experiences a person can go through even on that short, even on that short trip. And you never know where any of those experiences are going to help you or hinder you in the future. Maybe you came in contact with a non-Jew, you smiled at them. You waited in line, you were nice to them, you spoke to them. Whatever, they got a good impression. Maybe that non-Jew in the future is going to save you from something. They're going to remember. They're going to remember who you were. They're going to remember that gesture. And there's a famous story. There's a famous story of let's say, not so religious Jew comes to the Western Wall. And he sees this chassid, sees this ultra-Orthodox Hasidic Jew praying at the wall. And he's praying and he's chuckling, he's going back and forth, and he's raising his hands to heaven. And this Jew, not so religious, has an epiphany. And the epiphany is, I want to donate money. Because he had money. Right? It's a true story. He had money. And he wanted to donate to a synagogue where this person would feel comfortable praying. So he goes back to his hometown. Calls up an Orthodox rabbi. And he says, I don't remember what the amount was. It was a significant amount of money, and I want to donate it to your synagogue. The rabbi didn't know who he was. Didn't know him from Adam. Didn't know him from an ant. Didn't know who he was. Told him, come down, let's discuss it. Come see me in my office. And this guy comes in, not so religious. And he says, Rabbi, how you doing? I want to make a significant donation to I think it was for a library. I think that's what he wanted. He wanted to donate. He wanted to donate books or money to build a library. So the rabbi asked him, you don't look like the most religious of Jews. Why here? Why specifically here? So this Jew tells him, he says, listen, I was just in Israel, and I was at the wall. I went to the Western Wall, and I saw this person praying, and I was just inspired, totally inspired. This Hasidic man, chuckling and going back and forth, raising his hands to heaven. And I was impressed. It seemed like he was really praying. And that touched a part of my heart. So I decided I wanted to donate money to a synagogue back in the States where this person would feel comfortable in praying. So I called you. Called the local Orthodox rabbi. And I want to donate the money. I want to donate the money to your synagogue. So that's an amazing story. Now this chassid who prayed at the Western Wall, goes there every day, could be he was there once a week, I don't know, whatever the story is, he's going to get upstairs after 120 years. He's going to see this whole slew of mitzvahs that he's going to get. He's going to get credit for. So this chassid's going to ask, what's this? I didn't build this. I didn't give all this money to the synagogue to build a library. I had nothing to do with this. Why do I get credit? He gets credit because he was the inspiration. He was there praying. Wasn't doing it of any exterior, he didn't have any ulterior motives. Wasn't just going through the motions. He was there to pray. So what's the point? Point is, he went there to pray, and someone else came, and this is what he experienced. Now, not being such a religious Jew, it's a little bit strange what he did. Now, the reason being is that maybe he wouldn't have donated money. Maybe he would have given it to save the whales. Who knows? But he got inspired. He didn't necessarily go to the Western Wall to get inspired. He went to the wall because everyone goes to the wall when you come visit Israel. You go to the wall. So that was one of his stops on the way. Did he think he would give a significant amount of money to an Orthodox synagogue based on where he was going? Never entered his mind. But something happened. So wherever he came from on this trip, and he got there, God had a purpose for him there. So God sends him there. Even if he wouldn't have thought necessarily, okay, I'll go when I get there, whatever, okay, he has this desire now to go. God put it in his mind to go. Did he think he was going to go and cough up that kind of money for his, for a synagogue in the States? I don't think so. It's certainly not going the way he told the story. So wherever we go, it's a learning experience. We take that with us. For better or for worse. We want to make it a good experience, but we're not always in control. Many times we're not in control. In this case, it could be because of the weather. It could be because of driving. It could be because someone did something to us, said something to us. It could make the whole experience bad. It can certainly do that. Leave a bad taste in our mouths. Certainly could. Or it could be positive. See, but all these experiences, what we call life, quote unquote, life experience. What does a life experience do? It helps us. It navigates us. Keeps us on a certain path. If it's a negative experience, how are we going to deal with it? If it's a positive experience, am I thankful for that positive experience? Do I poo-poo it away? So many things can happen within the same experience. We'll use that example going to the mall. Let's say he wasn't sure where the store was. It's on the third floor. Then he's got to go find it. He's got to walk, and it's hot, and it is. There's so many things in between that can happen. It's all part of the same experience. Now the only question is, okay, if it's negative, how do you deal with it? If it's positive, how do you deal with it? That's what we do in life. We don't necessarily think about it this way. We just go through life. We just do things. We react. We don't necessarily think things out. We have knee-jerk reactions. Not always in tune with our emotions, or we can't always explain ourselves, but we react even when we shouldn't. So that being said, wherever we are, we're in the car, we're on a bus, we're in a mall, we're on an airplane, we're in a different country, we're on the telephone, we're on the computer. All these things are experiential. The question is it positive? Is it negative? But it's all part of our conscience now. So it's going to be a question how it manifests itself, because our soul remembers everything. We may forget, but the soul doesn't. So we certainly have to be aware. And we have to be able to gain from our experiences, even if it may be negative. Right? Maybe a person will learn not to go out at a certain time if the weather's bad, or plan better, whatever the case is. Did I learn something over here? But sometimes we may never see certain things until they occur later. This was just part of the experience but the repercussions of the experience are not for now. Maybe 2 months from now, a month from now, a year from now, maybe never. But everything that we do has an effect on us, either in a positive way or a negative way. Now the question is how we're going to deal with it, but through all those experiences, whether they're short or long, have an effect on the psyche. And they come up at different times. Maybe some won't come up at all. Right? But they may come back. Flashbacks. Maybe good, maybe bad. But it's part of us. Our soul recorded it. So now we have to use it either in a positive way, or a negative way. So every stop in the desert for the Jewish people, God is navigating them. Want you to go here, want you to go there, want you to, whatever. Wherever we're supposed to be, we're guided in that. So we don't have so much free will in that sense. We're guided because God puts us in that direction. If we want to do the right thing, God will help us. If we want to do the wrong thing, He won't stop us. But if God doesn't want you to be in a certain place, you won't get there. There are many great rabbis who wanted to come to the land of Israel. They didn't get here. They got stopped along the way. And they saw as a sign they weren't supposed to come. But people travel all over the world. This is my destiny. See this place, that place. Whatever it is. And it'll have an effect. Could be positive. Could be negative. And if God wants you to have that experience, you'll have it. If He doesn't want you to have it, you won't. But if you do, then that adds a whole different thing. Why? Because then you have a whole different experience. You're in this foreign country, however long you're there for. So again, you can have positive things happen, you can have negative things happen. And that makes us who we are. So anyone listening to this video, they have a reason or multiple reasons how they got here. Maybe they're looking for the next controversial thing that's going to come out of my mouth. Right? But the majority of people have come out of Christianity. And they want to learn Torah. And they want to show they're the real deal. And they want to go through conversion, or maybe some don't. But they want to go in that path of what the Torah tells them to do. And whatever they're obligated in. And not everyone's going to have the same story. Some people have similar experiences. Some people different. But the bottom line is, what everybody has, what they go through, whether it's through sickness, parnasa, livelihood issues, family issues, whatever it is, we go through all kinds of things through life that make us who we are. So there will be things in common that people have how they got to me. Some people just want pain. So okay, they keep coming. They want more pain. They want to have it easier in the next world so they won't have to suffer. They suffer enough listening to me. But experience is crucial. We have to use it for the right thing. We have to chalk up bad experiences. We have to learn from them. We have to become better because of them. Good experiences, we got to be thankful. Which a lot of times we're not. And we're only thankful when we don't have what we need. That's when we're the most thankful. So experience is life. was going to say it's part of life, but it's life itself. Because it makes us into who we are. We go through things because, A, God wants us to. And God wants to utilize these things to be able to help others. Maybe give others counsel. But nobody goes through something for no reason. God is not a masochist. He wants you to learn. He wants you to gain. Even from a negative experience. If you have a negative experience, He wants you to do tshuva. He wants you to come closer. He wants you to work on yourself to help reach your potential. So He'll navigate. Put you here, put you there. But some things we've experienced, we don't know why we had to go through it. Could be part of our reincarnated soul that had to go through certain things. Or you had to see certain places. Some things you'll never know. Right? Some things we have an idea. Maybe wrong idea, but we have an idea why we may have had to go to certain places or whatever. Or experience certain things. But there are some things, makes no sense. Right? Nothing positive happened there. It doesn't make any sense why you were there in the first place. So the answer is, I don't know. I don't know why a person had to go through it. Maybe sometime in the future, other things will come together and you'll say, I had to go through this because of this and that. Or I had to see this place because of this and that. Could be. But I would venture to say there are times where you're not going to have a clue. It's not going to make any rational sense. It doesn't have to. Because at the end of the day, God will make a decision. If He wants you there, you'll be there. And He'll take what He needs out of it to help you. But you won't necessarily see it. If you do see it, good. If you don't, you may never see it. So we don't go through things for no reason. But many people have difficulty. And they'll say, well, I'm suffering and I'm going through this and that. So we can't necessarily pinpoint, what we did to deserve it. And the person's going to, even if they do try and figure it out, it may not be the reason. Could be any number of, 100 reasons why. May not be the reason. In the end, it doesn't matter. Because you have to go through it. And if you have to go through it, you make the best out of whatever it is. And you're thankful for what it is. Because if God really wanted to, He can make it worse. We don't want to make it worse. You ask, how much worse could He make it? He could make it worse. You don't ask that question. Because you open your mouth, God can punish you severely. So, when we look back at this week's Parsha, and to see the Jewish people go from here to there, and everywhere around, God is telling you, there's a purpose. You're not just traveling for no reason. I want to keep you in the desert for 40 years, so I'm going to wipe you out. Next generation comes, they'll come into the land of Israel. That's true. But each place is significant. For the Jewish people to go in and come out, it's significant. Because I want something out of there. According to Kabbalah, it makes it easier. You're taking those sparks, whatever it is. You're taking those sparks out. Does God really need you to do that? I guess so. The Jewish people can sanctify any nation. Can make that nation great. And if they get thrown out, it's bad news for that nation. So if we look at where they travel, step by step, Doesn't that correspond to our lives? Where we travel day in and day out? Our travels aren't necessarily physical. It doesn't matter, you go from car to place, not speaking about that. It's what happens when you're there. Yeah, you have to get there to experience, I get it. The question is, what's the experience? What are you going to take out from it? That's why we take a cheshbon nefesh every night. We think about what we did during the day. Some things, you say, wow, did I say this? Did I do that? I was in such and such a place. Why was I there? You think about it, it doesn't make so much sense. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But God knows. He knows exactly why He placed you in that place. Sometimes things will be obvious. Many times it won't be, but it's there. This collective experience is what makes everyone who they are. And we have all kinds of experiences. Good experiences, bad experiences, in between. But there are many, many different things that happen in between that either make it good or make it bad. But whatever it is, as we said before, that experience makes the person who they are. It's in their psyche. Well, can they get it out of their psyche? They can. You have to work like a dog to do it. It's like something's recorded, you got to erase it. It's kind of hard to erase it from the soul. Right? Very difficult. But it's there. And the funny thing is, it's not so funny, but the funny thing is you never know when it's going to come out. It can be dormant for years. For years. And all of a sudden, boom, it comes out. I say, what's it doing here? I think about this for 20 years. Whatever. But this happened, that happened, something else happened, and boom, it triggered this memory. It triggers that experience. It's a whole different thing now. Because you're not the same as who you were. That experience is now a different experience. Or maybe it's not true. Maybe you never got over that experience. Maybe you just buried it. You didn't deal with it in the proper way. That could be. That means we have to be in touch with our emotions. Have to analyze a little bit. What's bothering us? Why did this happen? Sometimes you may need professional help to deal with it. But it's not a coincidence it comes up now. Because obviously it's there. It's just buried. And it only gets dealt with when other things trigger it. And that's what many people have. They have things that trigger them. Person doesn't have to remind them of the whole experience, just mention a word. Catchphrase. And it brings up all these memories. And the person may have thought, I dealt with that years ago. But obviously you didn't. Because it still has an effect. So it could be many years have passed, the person's gone through other life-changing experiences. And based on that, It may affect the person in a different way. Or it may affect you the same. Depends how you dealt with it. In the end, it's going to be a question. We take all these experiences. We see them in different parts of our lives. See how we dealt with them when we were younger, maybe middle-aged. Maybe we never dealt with them. But see, that's what it means to change. To even change one character trait. It's wedged in there so strong. And with all these different experiences and whatever, if it's a negative thing, you gotta get rid of it. You gotta work hard to get rid of it. No matter where it came from. And you have to do it in a way where it's so buried that no matter what happens, no matter what anyone says, whatever trigger word, it's not going to come back. So you're going to tell me, Rabbi, that's impossible. Could be. I don't think it's impossible. No, they say it's mind over matter. A person's going to have a negative connotation to a certain word because they're made fun of or whatever. Then whenever they hear that word, it's a negative connotation. What if they realize the person who said it was a wacko? Might have been a family member, doesn't matter. And now you think whatever comes out of their mouth, they're wackos. And they still say that. They still call you by that name or whatever. So I'm going to ask you, if you look at this person like a wacko, is it going to matter? Say, but look at all the emotion. Every time they call me that name, this, that, and the other thing. You're right. But now it's a totally different thing. Your mentality is totally different. You're looking at this person like you've been in an insane asylum. Like, God forbid if they're mentally challenged. I mean, they are to a certain extent, but if someone's mentally challenged, they do something, you going to worry about it? They're mentally challenged. They don't know what they're doing. Maybe uncomfortable, maybe this, maybe something else. In the end, it doesn't matter. You're not even going to blink an eyelash. Because you know the person has no idea what they're doing. So now this person comes along, calls you a name, makes fun of you like you did 20 years ago or more. But now you're at a totally different level. You know, you're not 10 years old. You're not 15 years old. You're much older. You have a lot more knowledge. You're much stronger. You have much more self-esteem. You know, this person says this, that, and the other thing. Minds you of bad feeling, brings up bad feelings. So what are you going to do? You're going to come out swinging normally. But what's the easiest thing to do? You look at this person. Now again, it's easy in theory. Because the person may still feel the pain. But if you look at this person like they're an absolute wacko, and they deserve to be in an insane asylum, let them talk. Let them call you every name in the book. Why are you going to get excited? Because it hurts. No one wants to be made fun of. That's true. But it's like being made fun of by someone who's mentally challenged. They don't know what they're doing. I mean, they do, but they don't. They do, but they don't. They don't know what they're doing. They're just saying things. What are you getting upset about? Don't be so sensitive. You're right. Do not be so sensitive. These persons are not worth time of day. Look at them like they deserve to be in a straitjacket. You look at them that way, there's no possible way. Even if they're negative feelings that come up, you just brush them away. Because you see, this person's insane. Totally insane. That's how you can overcome life experience. You know, this thing that comes up, it can dig deep into your soul. It can bring up all kinds of negative things. Ever since you were a kid, it brings up these bad images. But if your mentality's changed, and if you've learned from all these different experiences, you got a strong head on your shoulders, and this person makes a stupid comment, you're like, nah, 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 go ahead, talk, go ahead. All they want to do is get under your skin. You don't play their game. They're insane. The whole world's insane. But so what's the point? The point is, that's what life experience does. It changes who we are. It makes us who we are. And yeah, mind over matter is very strong. But you have to get that other stuff out of your system. Because if you don't, then you keep harboring the same anger as a kid, when you're an adult. And it's not the same. You're on a much higher level, a much better place. What do you care what a person says? They're a lowlife in your eyes. Not that you think you're so much better, there's that. But you have a much stronger, you're on much stronger ground. So life experience can come, it can help clear up a lot of things. Make things more convoluted in a certain way. But life experience, person will show they're not the same as they were last year, or the year before, or 10 years before. We're different. We should have grown from different experiences. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But that's what potential is. That's what spiritual growth is. It gives us the ability to start from a low place and end up in a high place. But you have to work at that. You have to drink the Kool-Aid. You have to believe in it. And you have to run with it. Because if not, then when someone says that catchphrase, whatever it is, and you go nuts from it because of what happened years earlier, or a year earlier, or 6 months earlier, forget it. You're not in control. Right? The Torah always wants you to be in control. Again, some things may be very hurtful. It's true. But the question is, what's my mentality now? Is my mentality in a different place? Is it in a stronger place? Or am I going to be the same as I was before and just give the same reaction? That's what it means when the Torah says you went from place to place to place, and I took out the experiences from that place. There were good experiences, bad experiences, as we've explained, but they make us who we are. So we have to focus on the good. We have to understand where we've failed, what we need to work on. And we'll have other experiences, more difficult experiences. But they're all part of helping us grow, helping us reach our potential. Because God never puts a person in a position they can't handle. We just may think we can't handle it. It's like I've heard people say, why am I in this situation? Why am I in that situation? Well, I have no idea. I'm not a prophet, not a son of a prophet. But trials and tribulations are to help us grow, to help us reach our potential. Yeah, they could break us also. True? Very easily could break us. The question is how we deal with it. So if we have this mentality, if we have this psyche, and we understand where things come from and where we need to go, but it's based on where we go, with God's help, then we can overcome. Then we can use that experience as a positive. God knows I have all this information. May not be able to help anyone in my own family. Right, but 25 years of learning and experience and being around Torah giants, it's an unbelievable thing. It changes the whole equilibrium because you see things a totally different way. So when you do that, that's what helps reach our potential, and that keeps us on the straight path. So I want to remind everyone that I have a class on duties of the heart every Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, New York time. We're doing the gate of bitachon, shar bitachon, the gate of faith, of having faith in God, and learning how to have faith in God. 2 question answer sessions, one on Tuesday, one on Thursday, 10 o'clock in the morning New York time, 4 o'clock 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Israel time. I also have conversion classes we mentioned. So you can take a look at my Facebook fan page, Beyond Orthodox Conversion and Judaism. You can take a look at my blog, orthodoxconversion.com. Or you can send me an email, rabbichaimcoffman@gmail.com, RabbiChaimCoffman, because that's how my father spelled it, at gmail.com. Wishing everyone a great Shabbos.